I receive housing benefit, council tax benefit, income support, child tax credit and child benefit. Housing benefit just basically pays my rent for me. Council tax benefit just means I don't have to pay the full amount on council tax. And I think I just pay something like 10% of it. And then income support is just money for us to live off. And child tax credit is just extra money for Ollie. Yeah, the money I receive is enough to live off. I think it varies for each person, but as long as you learn how to budget it, okay, then you'll receive enough, really.
Well, I get a housing benefit because I'm self-employed, which is a fair percentage of it. And I've now started claiming ESA because I've realised I can actually claim that as well, which is employment support allowance, which is for my back injury. So that is what I'm claiming at the moment. You know, basically, but with the council tax and housing benefit, I'm actually being hit by Cameron's bedroom tax, which is not very impressed with that, really. Well, it's £60 a month for a room that I don't use. But the way I see it, I don't see why I should be forced out of my house after being lived here for 5 years, because some Tory posh boy thinks it's a good idea. You know, so with me, I can cope with it, but I feel sorry for people that are in a worse situation than me, that have to, basically, that are being evicted from their houses. I mean, I spent, years travelling around with circuses and busking and street painting, living on the streets of Europe, which was a life-changing experience. Moved back to the UK, various jobs, trained as a PC engineer. Worked for BT for a while. Had a car accident, no longer work for BT, and now I freelance, mainly as a freelance writer, artist, 3D modeller, and run the site.
I think because I'm on benefits, people do judge and think, oh, they just can't be bothered to go and work, but the government don't make it very easy with childcare, and the cost of putting him in childcare full time means it's not, like, financially, I wouldn't be able to do it.
A lot of people nowadays seem to pigeonhole people that claim benefits, and I think that's due to stuff like this program Benefit Street, where they're actually showing people of that ilk acting badly, and the Conservatives, etc., and the government is using that as well, this is what benefits are like. As we saw classically with George Osborne, and that, what's his name, burnt his house down with his kids in it. The government was straight on that to say, oh, he was a benefit claimant, and that is negative, because the majority of people that do claim benefits have to claim it, especially people with disabilities. They have to claim it because they've got no other way of getting an income.
I haven't had too many bad experiences here, but like only 30 seconds from my house there's I know there's drug dealers living in the flats and stuff, which isn't particularly nice.
I think that's a negative thing with these council estates, is they're putting too many people with the same kind of mentality in the same place. They're just becoming like a little tribe. You know, you look at Lee Park and it's like a big tribal area where they're all dressed the same, they all think the same, but they're not really thinking about getting out of their environments. You know, and I grew up on a council estate in Manchester as a kid, and I'm not turned out to be a complete moron. So you can do it. You know, it's just a matter of applying yourself and thinking positively. Margaret Thatcher's classless society was basically, we're all middle class. That was her idea of classless society, with no unions, all about greed, all about owning your own house. It's all about materialistic, stomping over everybody else. If you can't keep up with the game, then you know you're not worth knowing. The poor are not allowed to have a collective voice, because why should they? Well, they should just do as they're told. You know, it's the higher, you know, the hierarchy in the government which are more interested in making money.
I think unless you have money, the MPs don't really listen to you or pay much attention to you. And I know me and a lot of my friends who are receiving benefits and live in council houses and things wouldn't even know where to start with trying to get to the MPs and trying to make us be heard. I think at the moment it's too easy for people to get benefits, and it should be harder. And I do think people should want to own their own houses and be able to support themselves.
It's unbelievable the way that it's portrayed now. That all people that claim benefits are all pigeonholed as the same kind of troublemaking, tracksuit wearing chaps, basically, who are just going to rob you. And it's all propaganda. You know, they should be more into helping people, not actually showing them as scum that are just out to scrounge, because it's not true. It's only a very small minority that do it, I think.